to the UPP tax again. Never again to the UPP tax again. And just so they know what you're about, you will love this, Madam Speaker. When election comes, eat them out, drink them out, and vote them to hell out. First to you, Madam Speaker, to my colleagues, to the Honorable Prime Minister, the members of this Honorable House on both sides of the political divide, and to all Antiguans and Barbudans at home and abroad, especially to my beloved constituents of St. Peter. I pray, Madam Speaker, for God's richest blessings on you and your loved ones for a peaceful and joyous Christmas season and a very productive New Year, looking forward to the Antigua Labour Party being returned.
Peter, you willing to speak?
But of course, Madam Speaker, that's why I'm here.
I acknowledge the honourable member for St. Peter.
I mean, that consideration, we had a budget debate, and we come in here at the last moment just to seek to get a particular position. I wanted the room to have anything to say about these things.
Madam Speaker, thank you for recognizing me. I called you and apologized, Madam Speaker, for yesterday. And today, as the member for St. John's Wool West say, I was very preoccupied with the legal proceedings that are going on in the Miami-Dade County, where my attorneys have agreed with the government and Rappaport's lawyers. They've asked for some more time, Madam Speaker. So I was preoccupied and I asked for your apologies yesterday, Madam Speaker. It is absolutely no disrespect to you or to any of the honourable members in this honourable House, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I'm here to make my contribution. I do not know why the member for St. John's Wool West, in his exuberance to defend certain individuals, has to attack me in such a vile, vicious manner. I've never ever heard him like that, Madam Speaker, never. In all the years that I've known Baldwin Spencer, before he was leader of the opposition, I've never ever heard him like that, Madam Speaker. There comes a time, yes, but we must respect the House of Parliament, Mr. Prime Minister, and respect your office. You are here to serve, and to serve all the people of this country, not to serve any particular person or class of people, or to abuse your indemnity, to attack other members on the side of the House, and to threaten me, and to threaten members of this House that you're going to hound them. You're going to hound them. That's what you said, Mr. Prime Minister. You're going to hound me. Madam Speaker, I crave your indulgence, and I hope that I will have a little extra time, because although I was busy today, I did follow the debate in between, and the member for St. Philip South, he started at 11:50 a.m. and ended at 2 p.m. He got 2 hours and 10 minutes. Some others got 2 hours, some others got an hour and a half. So I crave your indulgence, Madam Speaker, so that I can...
Honourable member, as you well know, you are entitled to an hour, and anything beyond that is at the indulgence of the House.
I will, but he didn't ask and he got the time.
Yes, he did.
Okay, but he got an extra
Now
hour.
you're casting aspersions on me.
The extra hour. Madam Speaker, I crave your indulgence to use some of my copious notes that I have made to respond to this budget. And Madam Speaker, let me move right ahead. I'll say to the Honourable Member for St. John's Wool East and the entire UPP government, oh, what a tangled web we weave when we practice to deceive. Madam Speaker, given its actual content, this 2008 budget speech that was delivered in this Parliament a week ago, entitled Sound Policies Show Success, Building a Brighter Future. Honourable Member,
excuse me,
yes?
The technicians cannot hear you clearly. Perhaps you could use the other microphone.
Block off this one?
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. The budget statement entitled Sound Policies Show Success, Building a Brighter Future Through Sacrifice and Perseverance, in fact, Madam Speaker, has a more accurate description. Unsound politics, desperate for success, as we just witnessed here, fooling the people and using the people's money to buy the people's votes, Madam Speaker. That's how I characterize this budget. Unsound politics, desperate for success, fooling the people and using the people's money to buy the people's votes. So, Madam Speaker, let not the fancy graphs in this document, let not the fancy charts, manufactured to deceive, manufactured to pull the wool over our eyes, to the extent that we are unable to see that this is a UPP election budget. You can jump high, you can jump low, Mr. Prime Minister. You know elections are near. And that is why you gave that speech, because you know your time is ticking like the hands of the clock. Madam Speaker, this UPP election budget, so cleverly designed to use the people's money to win the people's votes in 2008 general election, it is nothing more, it is nothing less, Madam Speaker. It is trickery of the highest order, election goodies of the highest order. Are we really supposed to believe, Madam Speaker, that all of a sudden out of the blue, beautiful sunshine skies, that the same finance minister who thumbed his nose and ridiculed those people who complained about the impact, the hurt, the burden that the personal income tax would have on their ability to make two ends meet, he now cares enough, Madam Speaker, to provide relief of a burden that he and his government and his Prime Minister so wickedly imposed on the poor people of this country. If we are to believe that, Madam Speaker, if we are to believe in this election season propaganda, then what the Honourable Member for St. John's Rural East is in fact telling us is that the thousands of people who marched the streets and made their voices heard on the talk shows and all across this country, he called it hate radio and night soil radio, but what was observed for 5 years when you were in opposition? It wasn't the same hate radio. It wasn't the same hate radio that brought you into government. Oh, radio of enlightenment. Well, ZDK's Liberty Radio. Were those not people, Madam Speaker? Were those people did not deserve to be listened to then? After all, the next election was still a few years away, so the finance minister, from the comfort of his beautiful media relationship with Observer and Winston Derrick, he could have rudely insulted citizens in this country and told them, shut up, man, shut up, pay your taxes, we're responsible fiscal government. And we are telling you from this ivory tower that you have to pay. And he scornfully rejected those calling people and every contributor to so-called consultations who did not agree that the taxes should be imposed at the burdensome level that Dr. Coates and the Ministry of Finance and the UPP sought to do. He ridiculed them and told them it's not too high. We're the lowest tax jurisdiction in the Caribbean. But you see, Madam Speaker, now that elections are only a few months away, now that the Honourable Finance Minister, the member for St. John's Rural East, is pretending to care and disgracefully dishonest claims that the UPP has been listening. Can you imagine they're saying now, at the 11th hour, that the UPP is listening? Listening to what? Listening to the cries of the people and is therefore responding with tax relief? This, Madam Speaker, is nothing but pure politics of lies, deception and propaganda. After 3.5 full years of punitive, unconscionable and unjustified UPP taxation, The UPP has now hit the campaign trail with its tax bounty to buy votes of the same people whose cries